Good evening, everybody.
Howdy.
What's going on?
Guys, you're
What's up,
muted.
sexy guys?
There you go.
What's going on?
What's going on, Loons?
It's a proper Looney Tune broadcast.
Yeah.
So like I say, my name's of course Gaz, and you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at the Rocky Cigar Reviewer. I'm pleased to have, of course, my fellow Loon brothers. So as you can see, they're all here. So everyone, introduce yourselves and tell people where they can find you on your social media.
Go right.
Vandalism.
My name's Kurt. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Cigar Kurt, CIGARKURT. Happy to be here.
I'm Vandalism. You can find me on Facebook at Case or Vendale Hay. You can find me on TikTok at XX Vandalism. Check me out.
Go ahead, Jim.
My name's Jimmy, and on TikTok you can find me at JimmySue8404.
Well, guys, I am Pete. Oh, go ahead, Grumpy. You go.
Well, it's just,
All
I
right,
think you're right to left. You know.
So
Yeah, I'm
we've
not
got
sure, but
Olive. We've
We're
got
gonna
a
do age
Facebook
All right.
comment.
John Massey. That's you can find me under John Massey 58 on Facebook and Instagram. TikTok is Grumpy Preacher. That's how you'll find me there. I got one of them X accounts, but I don't remember what name it's under. But anyway, you got the important ones,
So-
and we're glad y'all are here.
Ruben's asking us all what cigar are we smoking. So by all means,
right, well,
everyone,
Skip
tell
that.
Ruben what we're smoking.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm smoking an LFD Digger.
Oof. Well,
I got the
going all
Django.
out, huh?
I got the
I've
Django.
got the Charter Oak. I have.
And
Smoking an Esteban Carrera taken from the devil's hand.
Oh, look at you guys, all fancy. I am
Gurkha
smoking.
Royal Challenge.
Good evening, brother.
Gurkha
Gurkha, man.
Royal Challenge. Nah.
And hello
It's
to
a big
Don
joke
for
among the
joining us
Loons and
and
Grumpy
watching the
and
Loons.
Gurkha.
This is
That's
the
that's the in-house. Yeah, the whole Gurkha is an in-house joke, man. Y'all have to.
You got to follow us to get into it.
What do you got, Jim?
I'd like to say hello to Don for coming in and saying hello. So hello, Don. Thank you for joining us and watching us. So like I say, everyone's, of course, gone over what they're smoking and everything about the cigar. So basically, let's go around the table now and, of course, tell people about the cigar and the history of the cigar, what we're smoking.
Cool. Well,
So who wants
Hold on.
to go first?
I had to consult the Oracle because I never really looked up the Digger.
I'll be smoking the broadleaf, Connecticut broadleaf. All tobacco is Nicaraguan. Filler and binder.
Nice. Well,
Okay.
I'm smoking the Aganosa leaf Anniversario. This one is actually Nicaraguan. This is the double. This I believe is the Robusto. It has the obviously it's original from here, the States. It's a great stick, Nicaraguan wrapper, Corojo. Good flavor, peppery. It's got a phenomenal start to finish smoke, and we'll be smoking it together.
Well, this is the La Flor yeah, hold on. I can do this.
Come on.
La Flor Dominicana.
There you go.
Double Ligero Digger Maduro Grande. It's an 8.5-inch stick by 60 ring. This is a big monster. Apparently, it's all Dominican, made in the DR. It's Dominican long fillers, truckload of cloaked and darkened. But look, this is the stick that makes everybody go, So
What
I
the
like
heck is that?
I like this stick. But moving on, next victim, please.
That's this one here, buddy.
I'm not.
It's a phenomenal stick.
I'm not.
What's that? What's that?
I will
The
be,
the foot wrapper?
I will be smoking the bull moose as soon as I can get to the humidor. Right now, I'm entertaining a little work, and then we'll get this little on the cigar that I'll be smoking tonight.
Gaz.
So of course, I'm smoking the Charter Oak by Foundation Cigars. It's the Toro size, 6 inches, 52 ring gauge. The wrapper is a Connecticut broadleaf, so really nice broadleaf. It's not the early type. It isn't. It's got the binder is Habano Nicaraguan. The filler is all Nicaraguan. Strength is a medium to full. Basically about the cigar, it's an homage of the rich history of Connecticut tobaccos. Charter Oak Broadleaf pays tribute to the owner's grandfather. He used to work at Winchester Repeat Arms factory after World War II and smoked exclusively Connecticut broadleaf cigars. So there's the history around it. It's a brilliant cigar for the price point as well. So if you enjoy them, smoke them. Like I say, Foundation Cigars, really good cigar, and I enjoy them all the time. I do.
Can't go wrong with Foundation.
Gareth, I'm gonna tell what I'm smoking, but you can edit this part out. But last week when you called on each of us, it really went smooth. That way we're not all sitting there looking at each other wondering who's going to talk. And that really helped last week, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So
Right.
I'm smoking
So-
I'm going to go. I'm smoking the Esteban Carrera taken from the Devil's Hand. This is a Nicaraguan Puro. It has a Nicaraguan Corojo wrapper. It's got a double binder on it. The first binder being from the Esteli region of Nicaragua, and the second one being from the Jalapa region. And then the filler is also Nicaraguan. This happens to be the 6x50 Toro that I'm smoking. There's an interesting story behind this cigar, how they came up with the name taken from the Devil's Hand. If you haven't heard it, I'm going to share it with you just real quick. There was a gentleman named by Gonzalo Puentes who actually works or actually runs the Esteban Carrera factory in Esteli, Nicaragua currently. But years ago, back in the 90s, he worked directly under Fidel Castro in Cuba for the Ministry of Agriculture. And he was tasked with making a superior Corojo. They're having problems coming up with a strong Corojo plant for a Corojo wrapper. And so they did it through positive selection. They would plant 100 plants, and out of those 5 plants, they would take the best 5, take the seeds from those, repeat it, and just so they developed a superior seed for that. So during this time, over that period of time, he was traveling back and forth from Nicaragua. His family was still in Cuba, but he smuggled these seeds into Nicaragua. And then when it came time to produce the seeds or turn them in, he gave a lesser seed or a subpar product to Fidel Castro through the Ministry of Agriculture. So that's how they came up with this, taken from the Devil's Hand, meaning that it was taken from Fidel Castro. This cigar doesn't come in cellophane. It's got this paper wrapper on it. It's got supposed to represent flames. It's got a good looking red ribbon on the bottom, beautiful double band. This is a very, very unique cigar for me. I haven't tasted a cigar like this. It has the initial aromas are very dominant leather, earthiness, and same with the cold draw. You get into the first third of the cigar, earth. You've got a little bit of white pepper, leather. This is for me. This is a medium plus cigar. On the flavor strength profile, I got this at a 6, and it stays pretty much. But some other flavors that I taste in that first third, if you can imagine, some sourdough bread coming straight out of the oven, warm. You got that nice golden brown crust. That if you took a piece of that crust, I can taste that bread in there. And as I get to the back of the first third, from that point all the way through the rest of the cigar, you taste mushrooms. And it's you think mushrooms, oh man, I'm not going to like that. But it's kind of a pleasant taste. It's earthy, but it's not a real dirty or mushroom taste that you would think of. When I was a boy, my dad used to take me mushroom hunting. We used to go out and pick morel mushrooms, and I attribute it to that smell. It takes me back to there. Second, third, still very earthy. Start picking up a little bit more woodsy flavor. Got some oak going on in there. That transition, the white pepper kind of fades out, and it's more of a black pepper for me. And then the mushrooms, I still have that bread in there, but it's not every puff. It's every few puffs that it sneaks in there, and then it kind of disappears again. And then finally, in that final third, as the cigar finishes up, kind of mellows out for me. You still have the earth and the leather. That intensity goes down a little bit. Still have the pepper, but now it's changed back to that white pepper for me. And of course, you got those mushrooms. Like I say, my overall impressions of this cigar is very unique. It's in my rotation, but for me, it's not an everyday cigar. For me, it's so unique and so diverse that I kind of got to have a taste for it. So about every 7 to 10 days, I find myself picking up one of these. Is this good for a new cigar smoker? I would say, as far as the strength, on that flavor strength profile, I got it as a 6, so you would be fine there. But I think, and this is just my opinion, but I think with the new cigar smoker, I would much rather you see and taste a lot of different cigars, because this one is very, very unique. After you got a number of cigars under your belt, when you pick this one up, you can actually really appreciate what's going on with this blend. So this is a big thumbs up for me. I love the cigar. Like I say, it's in my rotation, and it's just a nice smoke. This is a 6x50 Toro size that I'm smoking. So there you go.
It's a good sounding cigar there, then. Basically, of course, with the devil's hand. So, Jimmy, of course, we know you're smoking the Asylum 13. What are you getting from the cigar, my bro?
Well, it's all Nicaraguan, wrapper, binder, and filler. It's an 80 ring gauge by 8 inches long. Some people refer to it as the baseball bat because it's a big cigar. It really is. But I love the flavor of it. You know, you get the white pepper. You get about halfway through it, it turns more into a black pepper. But all the way through it, you've got a nice leather note all the way through it. It's really, really nice. I really, really enjoy it. I don't get it very often. I get it for special occasions. But yeah, it's a real nice cigar.
Cool. Like I said, I smoked the Asylum 13 myself, and like I said, I enjoy it. But mainly, I go to the Pandemonium. Pandemonium's a good size cigar, and it's also good. So, Popo, what are you getting from your cigar, my brother?
Well, the Aganosa, you know, it's a great peppery stick that, I mean, from start to finish, I mean, if you don't have a mature palate, you're not going to really be able to enjoy the stick, you know, which is kind of the topic that I kind of wanted to bring up that Kirk kind of touched on briefly, but it was in regards to, you know, the new smokers, because pretty much everyone here is, you know, is a seasoned smoker, you know, and, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I know I've gotten asked from you guys, you know, what kind of cigar should I start smoking? You know, I'm just starting out. You know, and one of my go-to cigars that I tell guys to try out, and Keeb is going to enjoy this, is a Perdomo. You know, the Perdomo 10th anniversary, the Champagne 10th anniversary. It's a Connecticut, very light cigar to start building up your palate. You know, we had a conversation not too long ago in regards to once your palate has matured and you get to the Maduro stage, that you start able to differentiate, you know, the flavors that you're actually tasting, whether it's nuttiness or is it leather, or is it earthy. You know, you have to build that palate up. You know, you can't just come out of Jump Street and just start smoking, you know, Maduro cigars, because it's been my experience that I've seen is that people that go straight to a Maduro and never smoke, they turn green, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a bad experience. And that's not, you know, the whole idea of having a cigar is to enjoy that moment, right? Everybody, you know, you get that drag, you know, it's not a cigarette, you know, you're not inhaling it. You inhale the cigar, you know, you're not taking that drag, you're letting it sit in your palate. And then, like I said, as your palate matures, you start tasting the different flavors, the different blends that's in that cigar, you know? And, you know, people ask all sorts of stuff. I mean, you know, maybe, you know, you guys can, I don't know what you guys recommend, you know, for when you guys have a new guy that's coming to the shop. Like I said, my number one stick that I tell a guy to go to is the Champagne, you know what I mean? And then obviously, then obviously is the education aspect of it, right? Like, okay, this is a Connecticut, it's a very light taste. You're going to get very mild, you know, to maybe medium, if depending on which Connecticut that you get. You know, how do you cut it? How do you light it, right? Because there's all different, everyone has it their own different ways, right? Just cutting itself is a process, is it not? Right? Because you have the V cut, the perfect cut, the guillotine. I mean, there's a million one cuts. You know, it's all about preference. And obviously, there's certain people that like the V cut. The V cuts are deep. You know, the good thing about the V cut, and we, you know, a bunch of us we spoke about it, is that you don't get, the tobacco itself does not get wet as much as a flat cut. You know, I personally like the flat cut. I like the perfect cut because it never passes the cap. You know what I mean? So if those of you know that if you with the guillotine, especially if you pass that cap, what happens? It starts unraveling.
Yeah, it starts unraveling.
You know, it starts unraveling. And this is all stuff that new cigar smokers don't know about. You know what I mean? And, you know, so it's all about, you know, how people preference to light it. You know, some people just go straight at it. Some people burn the edges as they're puffing, you know. And I tell people, don't put the light itself right on top of it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to taste the butane, right? You want to taste the cigar, especially the first few drags, right? The first few inches of that cigar has that profile that's just like, okay, you can see what you're going to get into. You know, we have spoken, everyone here pretty much, I believe, smoked, you know, the M81. And that stick, right, from the very beginning, from when you light it, punches you right in the mouth. And if you're a beginner in this field, that's not a cigar that you're going to enjoy. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously, then you have the whole process of how to maintain a cigar, you know, what humidification, you know, how to set the humidor. You know, I don't know about you guys. I try to keep mine between 68 and 72, depending obviously on how many sticks I have in my humidor. I have a humidor that holds roughly 300 cigars. So obviously it's going to fluctuate depending on the cigars you have in there, right? How well you prepped it, you know. But to me, like I said, my topic is more about the new guys because, you know, I want people to have these experiences with us, not just the veterans per se. You know what I mean? We want people from all walks of life. And that's the one thing that I could tell you guys, and you guys don't know, that cigars bring everybody together, doesn't it? You know, it doesn't matter what's your background. It doesn't mean anything. We could always have a conversation over a stick and a drink, you know, but, yeah, you know, and like I said, and it's just the educational process, you know, especially with these new guys. You know, I had this one guy go, "Oh man, what the heck is this mold?" And those of us that knew what it was, we all started laughing. And we're like, "No, buddy, that's not mold. It's plume. You know, that's the cigar aging and all the oils extracted from it. That cigar is prime. That cigar is ready to be smoked, you know? So it's just the educational aspect of it. You know, I want us to, you know, especially for me, I love to educate people, especially the newcomers that want to be able to enjoy and sit down, you know, and have a cigar and a chit chat with us. But That's pretty much it. Like I said, I just wanted to go after the new guys that are out there smoking, you know, as opposed to just speaking straight to the people that have been avid smokers for a while. Because I've been smoking for 25 plus years, you know.
So what we'll do, of course, with you saying about the new cigar smokers, Popo, we'll go down, of course, to Case, because Case is a new cigar smoker. So,
Good
Case,
evening.
how are you finding your cigar, my brother?
My cigar is a very very nice cigar. It's a Django from the Upsetters. It's a by Foundation. It's a Robusto. So I think it's infused. I ain't gonna lie. It's really got some citrus taste to it. Maybe some like a tea bag. I mean, it's a good tea bag. You know, I like tea. I get some honey on the end of it here. It's a really nice cigar.
Yep.
It's a 5x54. It was not requested. Well, buddy told me about it, and I had to give it a go.
Wonder who that was. Okay. But no, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Like I say,
Yes, sir. It's a very smooth cigar.
You summoned up that cigar totally with the honey taste and the different notes that you gain. Of course, yeah, it is an infused cigar. But like I say, you see everyone trash infused cigars. But if you enjoy them, smoke them. And that's the thing. You're enjoying it. You're smoking it.
I really enjoy it.
So the next person we'll go to, because I can see him sitting down there like the poison little dwarf he is. We'll go to, of course, Keepster. Good evening, Keepster.
Good evening.
And how's your cigar, my brother?
You know, this is probably the best stick I smoked a week, 2 weeks. It's the LFD Digger. There it is. 8.5 inch by 58 ring size. This is a beast. This do not. If you are a newbie, don't grab this stick and go, I'm going to smoke that. You're going to vomit your brains out. You're going to vomit the last thing you smoked 4 days ago. This is a heavy stick. This thing is just, the M81's nice because it'll punch you in the mouth right from the get-go. This thing sneaks right up on you and then holds onto your tongue. I love this stick. It's all Dominican. Every bit of it's Dominican. So there is no pepper in this. There's no pepper in this stick. But there's a whole lot of ass whoop from start to finish. It's a great, I like it. I like heavy sticks. And this one is just another one on my list of I really like this stick. Yeah. And the price point's good. Only like 14
Yeah, I was just going to say to you about the price point, and if you can't beat that for a price point, of course.
No,
you can't. And
I did get it in my one when I bought this.
We've just had another comment, so I shall shoot the comment up, and this is from, I think it's Crystal. It is. So hi,
it looks like
Pete, love you.
Popo.
So, yep. So there's that one. So, like I say, of course, we know what you're smoking, Tom, and you're enjoying your cigar. We'll now go to, of course, the Grumpy one. We will, and we'll see how Grumpy's cigar's going with him smoking the Gurkha. So, how's your cigar going, Grump?
Well, this is the Gurkha Royal Challenge. It has a this one here. This particular one has an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper on it. It has Dominican and Honduran fillers. I can't recall the binder. I had this one before in my other box. Of course, it takes it starts out, you know, it's got a lot of cedar. It's got a lot of cedar in it. But then again, it also has almost a it puts me in mind of like a butter pecan ice cream, kind of a creamy, nutty kind of thing. And then there's spots of it on down in here. Hadn't got there yet, but you get up there around all those massive bands that are on it. It starts to add in a little bit of kind of like a black tea flavor.
Yep.
And then of course it does have the pepper. It's not an overpowering pepper. It's got a nice bite to it. I don't know that I would start off with something like this, but it probably wouldn't take you long to graduate to it because it's not really that heavy of a cigar.
Yeah. Okay.
It's even though it is that Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, it's still with the cedar and the tea and stuff like that. It's still on the lighter side of things.
Yeah. Well, that's, like I say, an interesting cigar. I think I've smoked it before myself, and I've enjoyed a couple of, like I say, Gurkhas. The ones from me, of course, like we've all discussed before, is anywhere from the reserve. So basically, of course, the 18 reserve, the 21 reserve, 15-year-old reserve. They're where I take mine from. But it's an interesting cigar that you're smoking. So where we'll go now, of course, we'll go to, of course, my brother PC. And what are you going to be smoking, PC, when, of course, you can join us and smoke? What cigar have you picked up?
I'm going to be smoking the Bull Moose. It has a Nicaraguan wrapper. Also, a binder is the same. And the filler is the same. And it's originated from Nicaragua. Somebody say it for me. And
Nicaragua.
Thank you, sir. And it's a full-strength cigar. And just off the smell, I smell hay. With a little sweet smell, kind of light, but if you're a new smoker, in my opinion, this could be a step up cigar. From whatever you start on, you can go into this cigar because it's clean and it's pretty much, you're going to get all the flavors that you want out of it. And the majority of the time that I smoke this, it really has a good clean draw on it. And it's something that you would really enjoy as a new smoker if you're trying to upgrade and build your palate at the same time.
Cool. So, like I say, PC, what would you suggest as the first cigar, though, PC? Would you suggest that's the first cigar for a new cigar smoker? What would you suggest?
Well, for me, I started off on the Kubota acid, but I will also tell you, you can do the Tatianas, anything in the Tatiana brand. That'll be a great little start for you, and go from there.
Cool. So, like I say, I'm going to shoot that question all around to everyone else. So, of course, we'll go up to Kurt. Kurt, what would you suggest as a first cigar for a new cigar smoker?
I got two schools of thought. You could start them off on the infused route, like PC was saying, into the acids, the deadwood tobacco product, or if you were going the traditional route, like Popo said, the champagne, the Perdomo 10th anniversary champagne, excellent cigar. Also, I like the Perdomo, the Lot 23 in the Connecticut. There are some Maduros too. What you're smoking there, Gareth, the Charter Oak, the Connecticut broadleaf Maduro. That's not a strong cigar for me, and I really like that cigar. That's like an everyday smoke for me. If I don't know what to pick up, that Charter Oak's always laying there for me. So either way, you could start them on the infused route if they're, and it all depends. Are they a previous cigarette smoker? Are they used to tobacco? So those are all factors that you kind of want to find out when you're doing a recommendation as well. So those are some good cigars to start off with.
I can understand why you're saying, of course, with the charter out. To me, if I was going to say to someone a couple of cigars to start with, I would say, of course, the Caldwell Eastern Standard, because that's a Connecticut. To start out with, try that. Then, if it is that you don't like that, go to a different company and try a different Connecticut. If the Connecticut's aren't sitting with you, then go up to an Habano cigar. If they don't suit you, just move up in the different grades of cigar. And until you know where you are, you'll never know because there's that many. If you've smoked cigarettes before, okay, you're probably going to be used to something a bit full of flavor. If you're not a cigarette smoker and you're just getting into it, then I would suggest something very light to medium. Then work up from your light to medium, then go from medium to full, then go to full bodied and start around that way. But Jimmy, first cigar that you could suggest for a new cigar smoker, my brother?
Kind of agreeing with the room so far. The Connecticut's, the light flavored, as far as just tobacco flavor. The Connecticut's, the shades, the Southern Draw Rose of Sharon, very mild cigar, but very flavorful. And if you don't want to spend $12 or $13 on a cigar, get a factory smoke shade. It's a budget cigar, but it'll give you the idea of, what mild cigar tobacco is like. It'll probably be milder if they are cigarette smokers. It'll be milder than what they're used to, but it'll give them an idea of where to go from.
Yeah. Which, I get that, like I say, Hen. What I'll do now, of course, I'm still asking the same question, but I'll go down to Tom because Tom smokes cigarettes, so we'll see what he would suggest for his first cigar for someone starting out.
Well, I always ask a couple of questions. I like to feel out the person who's asking me. I smoked heavily, so the first real cigar that I actually smoked was a vanilla Trinidad cigar back in the 90s. I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was probably almost as long as this thing, and it was enjoyable, but it was really light. I didn't care much for it because I didn't get much out of it. Again, I was a cigarette smoker, so I was forever just throwing them back. However, since when I restarted smoking, I just started smoking again in 2022, and the first stick I smoked was a Connecticut. It was just a house blend Connecticut, and it was okay, but it just didn't have the flavor I was looking for. So then I just started picking up sticks. So when people ask me what's a good stick to start with, I usually smile and go, what do you think you're looking for when it comes out of a cigar? Because you understand this is tobacco. At the end of the day, you're going to get a mouthful of tobacco. Yeah, that's the smoke that you're going to get is tobacco. All the flavors and stuff, unless you're seasoned, your palate's just going to taste tobacco. So your first stick is just going to be, I am smoking a giant cigarette that I'm not inhaling.
Yeah.
So I like to ask them silly questions. Usually it ends up with, bro, go over on the bottom shelf there. You'll see acids. Grab one. You like coffee? Grab a Java. You like chocolate? Grab this. At the end of the day, sometimes you almost got to hold their hand and point them in the direction. I've given advice in just the short time that I've been smoking. That's one of my favorite things to do is actually give advice on cigars.
Yeah. Which, like I say, you've made about.
And I love taking advice. I love when people look at me and go, no, that's and I'll smoke it and go, hey, by the way, I really enjoyed that monster that everybody says they don't like because it's too long and it's too much. I love this stick. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, like I say,
Tom,
you made some valid points there.
with what you're saying there, Tom, about not picking up that digger, I think I kind of look at it as having a certain amount of responsibility, because if someone's really looking to you and they've never smoked a cigar, depending on what you point them to, they may never pick up one again, or maybe another 10 years before they get the courage to try one if they have a bad experience. So I think it's something kind of be taken serious, and I agree with what you're saying there.
Yeah, it's a level of responsibility that we all take when we're asked. But as long as we answer as truthful as we can, I tell people, listen, if you're planning to start smoking cigars, you're going to want to start out light. If you're just looking for something that you can say, hey, I'm smoking a cigar, go grab an infused cigar. You won't go wrong. You can't go wrong. It's going to have a flavor that you're going to enjoy. I like the acids. I think the acids, out of all the infused cigars that I've smoked, I like the acid line. I've smoked just about all of them. And even though I don't like Connecticut's very often, their flavor from top to bottom.
Yeah.
It's an intelligent decision to point them in that direction.
Yeah, it is. And of course, you know, if you infused anyway, it's the cap that's got the infusion on it. At the end,
Right.
of course, when you get down towards the nub, you're going to get the tobacco taste. You're going to get maybe the feel of the different tobacco that's in there because the infusion's gone. But you made a valid point about if someone, of course, is new, pointing them, trying to help them in the right direction where to go. So say to him, well, are you a normal cigarette smoker? Are you just coming new into cigars? Well, can I just give you a couple of recommendations and see it? They might just turn around and say, you know what, I just want to go and explore myself. But if you can help them, that's the best way. And you look at us as the Cigar Loons, for instance. We've introduced Case to new cigars, and Case was never a cigar smoker. And
We've
now
had
he
a lot of
is.
fun with introducing Case
Yeah.
to new cigars.
So, like I say, Case, with you being a new cigar smoker, what would you suggest to someone if they came to you now and asked you, what cigar could I have for my first cigar? What would you suggest to them?
With me being a new smoker, I would suggest any infused cigar. With like they were saying, chocolate, coffee. You got different ones. You even got some tropical ones and vanilla. There's so many different infused cigars out there that they seem the most popular when it comes to being on hand. Uh, Myself, I would suggest a acid Cuba. For a first one.
Yep.
And it just seems like it has the chocolate and then spicy taste, but not too much. It's more of a medium.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, and that's what I would suggest as a new smoker myself. I don't have very much of a palate, but it's growing every day hanging with you guys. But an infused cigar is what would be suggested for me.
How are you finding, of course, the infused cigar that you're smoking now? It being
This one here,
foundation. Are you finding is that one's different compared to the Drew State Acids, or would you say it's on the same par?
now this one here is nowhere near acid. This one was also is a little more pricey, but that has nothing to do with the flavor. The flavor, I think, is coming from the wrapper. It's real earthy, kind of like I said, tea baggy. It's real nice.
Yeah. Like I say, in that cigar anyway, you've got, of course, Jamaican tobacco in it. So you've got Jamaican cow leaf, it's called, and it's going to be a different kind of taste because what Foundation did with that cigar anyway, they made, of course, them around
Yeah.
the African kind of roots and the Jamaican roots. So, of course, they got the Jamaican tobacco in it. And they're good. I've had a couple. I know Tom's had a couple. I don't know if anyone else has. But yeah, like I say, you've all made valid points on cigars. Like I know Popo has for starting. I know, of course, Grumpy would say some really good ones, and I know Grumpy's full of knowledge on trying to start out with starting cigars. But now, what we're going to do, of course, is a little bit of something different that I want to do. So, of course, you know about your cigars, you know bits about the companies. Who would you say at the moment is bringing out some unique, interesting cigars, and you're looking forward to what's going to be coming out at the next PCA. So I'm going to shoot this one straight up to Popo, and then we'll see, of course, what Popo says. We will. So just bear with me, man. Oh, so there's Popo. So yeah, go on, Popo.
Well, my earplug just died on me, but can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can you hear my brother?
All right. Believe it or not, I'm fairly new, or should I say, with Foundation. Like, I am a big fan of Foundation now. And people that know the backstory of Foundation, you know, the main guy was one of the big guys for Drew Estate. You know, I am looking forward to see what else they bring to the market. Steve Saka is another one. You know,
Yep.
you know, everything that man has touched. I mean, to me, I love the Cinco Permiso, right? I mean,
Yep.
you know, those two individuals that came from Drew Estate and stuff like that, they kind of branched off to their own. I mean, they have really done great for themselves. And, you know, I was very fortunate that one of my coworkers is the one that introduced me to the Tabernacle. That's the first foundation that I had. And then, of course, the Wiseman, et cetera. But the Tabernacle to me is such a great stick. And it's like, holy crap. Like, I really can't wait to see what that company down the road is going to come to the market with. You know what I mean? Because they really seem to they really seem to have something going good for themselves right now.
Do you seem to think this foundation can hack basically the amount of cigars they've got so far in their portfolio and running out of tobacco at the moment and trying to get their cigars out in the United States and then over here in the UK? I've heard a couple of rumors you can't fill the demand. So do you think they're going to fill the demand, or do you think there's going to be one of these companies that disappear?
You know, I think what's happened to the foundation is that their popularity has grown so rapid that they can't keep up with the demands. You know, and that's scary, right? Because think about it. You know, you have a phenomenal product. You got the consumer that loves this product, but you don't have enough of it per se to produce it to take, you know, to bring it out to the consumer. And it leads the company into a massive dilemma. Like, what direction do we go in? You know, I truly hope that they don't go anywhere. You know what I mean? I hope that, you know, because I know the shop that I go to, the one thing that I must say that I realize what Foundation has done that very few companies do, like, in order for you to have their brand in your store, you can't just only request, let's say, the Tabernacle or the David or the Goliath. You got to have a minimum of 5 of their sticks in your store.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the problem is that, like I said, if you have a phenomenal stick and you have the product and you have the consumer and you have more consumer than product, then you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, I get what you're saying on that. So I'll shoot this over to, of course, now Jimmy, and see what Jimmy's looking forward to coming out of PCA and about what cigar companies doing it the most for him at the moment.
Well, I was at Cigar Fest last week, and Southern Draw is going to be launching a couple of new cigars over the next year or so. They're finishing up the aging stage and about ready to hit, release. And because the way they do things is they actually start aging their 5 and 10 year anniversaries before they actually release the regular cigar.
All right.
And so you'll see, and actually they've done that in the past where they have released their 5-year anniversary before they released the regular cigar.
All right.
I'm had a real nice conversation with Robert, the owner, and his wife Sharon.
Yep.
You've heard me mention Rose of Sharon.
Yep.
That cigar, she had her hand in it almost 100% picking the flavor profile.
Yeah,
And
it's a good cigar. I've smoked it myself. It is a good cigar. It is.
yeah, well, they came out with one called the Boss Lady. It's a 48 by 9 inch, and they did it
All
for
right.
her. And
Okay.
and they actually made that and started aging it before they released the Rose of Sharon. And
Cool.
before they even released it, they had these in storage, ready to go. So in 5 years, they could release the Boss Lady. And
Right.
yeah, so that was really cool. But I had a real nice conversation with him. But yeah, they've got some new. Their latest one that they came out with was the Manzanita.
Yeah,
And
I've seen that.
veteran, it's a veteran owned company. Well, between the Manzanita and the Kudzu, those are their last two that they put out. And the Manzanita was kind of based on the Army side of the family, and the Kudzu was kind of based off of the story he tells, based off of the Navy side of the family.
Right.
But all of his the boxes and all of the cigars are he goes in and finds where the plantation that he grew from the beginning. He specifically did it in one of the most impoverished communities in Nicaragua, and
Right.
put the people to work and help them build the infrastructure. And it's no longer an impoverished area of the country.
Yeah.
So a lot of the profits go to that. The Manzanita, the story behind that is it's the one of the U.S. Native American tribes. If you look at the band on the Manzanita, that is that tribe's colors, so to speak. It's their pattern. Kind of like how the people over in the UK, the Welsh and the Scots, have tartans. It's kind of the same thing, but that the cells off of that particular cigar, those cigars, the Manzanitas, a portion of it goes back to that tribe. So he's not just
right. Okay.
our manufacturer, but he's also a philanthropist. He's taking his money, a good portion of the profits, and puts them back into where they came from, or helping veterans, Native Americans, the actual Nicaraguans who actually grow that.
That's a good thing, like you said, of course, with giving back. I know Southern Draw are doing quite well here in the UK, and you look at other companies, of course, like Arto Fuente, JC Newman, of course, they've put money back into Nicaragua with the school that they've built, and of course the apprenticeships that they're giving the families and everything, and really helping them. Excuse me. So I'll go over to Grumpy, and of course, Grumpy, what cigar so really getting you going at the moment with the companies, and what do you see coming out of the PCA that are going to be interesting?
Well, honestly, I haven't been looking at a lot of those things. As you guys know, the last couple of months, I've been ordering that particular sampler from Small Batch, and my third one is due to show up here tomorrow. And of course, there are, I have all the variety of the various, cigar makers and stuff that come in that box. But the thing about it is, by the time those cigars get to that box through Small Batch, most of them have already seen their heyday through the retail market, and a lot of them are no longer available for purchase and things of that nature. So, for the last few months, I haven't really been looking at any of the big guys and new releases, because I've been into those sampler boxes, and a lot of that's older, vintage stuff that may not even be around anymore. So, but now Don Cervantes and Black Label Trading, some of those guys like that, the things I get from them are excellent in that sampler.
yeah.
So
That's the thing. You're enjoying, of course, your samplers, and to be honest with you, I am looking
Yep.
into it myself. And like I say, I think some of them cigars that you've had quite recently are unique because, one, we know when you've checked, they're not here even on the market anymore. They've stopped making them. And to get your hands on them and to try them, in the
Yeah.
different unique bands on the cigars, the different unique tobaccos in that cigar, it's interesting to have and to be able to get your hands on them and smoke them.
Yeah.
So I'll shoot this question now to, of course, PC, and we'll see with PC what he thinks about the companies that have got, of course, exciting cigars out at the moment, and who might be going out with some exciting ones at PCA. Who do you reckon, PC?
Well, I'm somewhat like behind the curve when it comes to the companies, but I'll give my opinion on some of the cigars that I've, smoked in the last few weeks and that I've had over the last couple of years. I'm really interested to see, I've been introduced to the AJ Fernandez, and the Druid Hill. I would love to see Druid Hills, the Druid Hill continue what they're doing because I kind of like the flavors in their cigars. But I'm interested to see where Gurkha and Oliva is going with their cigars because I've smoked Gurkhas, for almost a year before just stopping. I enjoyed some of them, and I enjoyed some of their cigars, but their price points are way high. I think they overvalue a lot of cigars. And with the Olivas, they tend to have almost a trend on how they're doing their cigars, meaning there's a lot of companies do, but you don't get a lot of flavor difference out of the Olivas. I would love to see something really exciting come out for them. But,
Well, what I am going to try and do, I'm going to try and get, of course, the rep for Olivia on. Now, of course, we all know on the 3rd of November, we're going to have Dan Brooks on, who's a good friend of mine. His girlfriend's brother is also the sales rep for Olivia in the United States. So, of course, I'm going to try and get him on. And no doubt, PC, you can shoot them questions at him to see what they've got in the works and if they'll reveal some of that information to us.
Okay, good.
So keep saving them questions, my brother, for them, because, like I say, with you smoking them, I've only smoked a couple. I smoked the Series V, which I enjoyed. I thought that was a good cigar. I haven't gone through most of their portfolio because, for one, it's the price point here in the UK. Is we already know from plenty of conversations with us, I get my trousers pulled down and I get royally fucking raped with the cigar prices. And I'm going to put it out there. I get royally fucking raped with cigar prices here in the UK. But that's a different story. And that's the thing. So I'll shoot this question now, of course, down to Tom. And we'll ask Tom the same question. What companies he thinks are coming out with really good cigars at the moment and what he thinks may come out at PCA?
Perdomo.
I knew you were going to mention Perdomo straight off. I fucking knew it.
Perdomo.
I knew you were going to say Perdomo.
I want to smoke that cigar. Actually, I know AJ's got some stuff coming out. I want to try the new Espinosa, the bat, whatever that thing is.
I had the Michelano.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Jimmy wants something. What do you want, Jimmy? Hold on, give him some. Just hit the mute, but hit your mic and it'll turn it on.
Yeah, hit your mic, Jim. Take it back on.
What's up, buddy?
Tom doesn't want to smoke that cigar. He wants to make love to it.
Listen. Shh.
Yeah.
There are rules, sir. There are rules.
We know full well there's once Cuba gets that 30th anniversary, he's going to go around the garden streaking, smoking it. And we're all going to see that video on the Cigar Loons group. If Keeb's just streaking with the cigar in his mouth.
There are rules.
Or maybe,
there are rules.
It's going to have soft music and candlelight. And Elijah Craig's going to be involved.
Music and some.
I mean, I'm truthfully looking forward to trying a lot of new sticks this year, because there's a lot of new sticks hitting the market. There's a certain guy that I'm waiting to try his line, Mr. Opulence. I would really like to try his line, because he was one of the reasons why I started going live. But short and skinny version, the Perdomo. I can't wait to see any of the new. I want to actually try the new Asylum. The new Asylum. What is it? The Asylum 13. It's not it's the April Fools.
Yeah.
I want to smoke that stick. I like the big gauge sticks. We know that.
Well, they've already started, of course, putting the bands on the 30th anniversary of the Perdomo cigars. So it was on Instagram the other day where they were showing them rolling them and putting the bands on. So they'll be ready. And of course, I've heard from some of you with the brothers and, of course, different people, they're going to be out just ready for Thanksgiving. So I bet you're excited on that, aren't you, Tom? There's basically be out before Thanksgiving.
If I can find one, I'll be happy. If I have to buy a whole box, I'll buy a whole box. I'm just going to have to skip putting new tires on my truck.
So, like I say, I'll shoot this question now, of course, up to Kurt, and then we'll see what Kurt thinks of the cigar companies at the moment with what they've got coming out, and, of course, what you think's going to be coming out on PCA.
Well, as far as the PCA is concerned, we're kind of in uncharted territory, because normally they have a whole year, but they're turning right back around and they're moving it to March this year. So you got to think that, I mean, the way they make cigars, this last PCA, they already know what they're coming out with in March, I would think, most of them. So it's interesting to see what's going to show up. But the manufacturers that I'm always watching, got to be number one for me, Plasencia. I think they're coming out with a new one called the 151. I love Plasencia. It's a little bit higher price point. But you can't go wrong with that company. The Esteban Carrera that I'm smoking tonight, they just came out with a new one, the Soga. That is a complete 180 from the cigar that I smoked tonight. It's woodsy. It's got oak. It's just a total different taste. They don't even have a band for the thing yet. They've got a cigar stem wrapped around it. So that's new. I mean, they're just putting them out in bundles. They don't even have a box for them yet. Another one that I like, that I'm interested to see what they're going to come up with next, to see if, I don't know how they can do any better, is the EP Carrillo. They just keep coming out year after year. The Pledge. I love that cigar. The Allegiance. I've got a whole box of those that I bought. I'm smoking those now. I love those. The Encore. So, and then another one that I recently is Espinosa. I just smoked the knuckle sandwich, both the medium one and the Maduro. So for me, I get introduced to a lot of new cigars. I have I'm kind of in a rural area up here in the mountains, but I've got a wonderful cigar shop in Blue Ridge, and they're just full of knowledge, and he's got a lot of just top quality cigars in there. So he's always getting new stuff in there, and he's kind of starting to give me some to review as new ones come in there. So I'm blessed there. But those are the companies that I'm looking at. I mean, it's got to be Plasencia, the Esteban Carrera, the EP Carrillo. Of course, Perdomo. It seems like no matter what Perdomo you pick up, it's going to be good. It's going to have, be quality. I haven't smoked a Perdomo that I didn't like. So there's a lot of them. But those are the ones that I kind of keep my eye on and see what's coming down the pipe.
Do you think, though, with, of course, Plasencia is going to change? Because we all know, if we've seen it on social media, there's basically about one of the people dying from Placentia. He was one of the main blenders and all the rest of Placentia. Now he's gone. Do you think this Placentia are going to change and they're not going to taste the same as what you get with Placentia? Because don't forget, Placentia are really good cigars, but also the price point's high on. Now, I enjoy, of course, the Placentia 602. I enjoy the 601. I enjoy the Nesta. I enjoy a lot of Placentia cigars, and they've never, ever done me wrong. But do you think that they're going to change now? Of course,
I would think
with the person dying.
Yeah, I would think with just the rich history they have, I would think that there's been people under him and people around him that are going to carry the torch and continue on. They are a pricey cigar. I mean, the one that I like the best is the Reserva Original, and I think that's the cheapest cigar. I would like to see them come out with a more budget friendly, but brand. I know. In addition to the cigars they make, they're a tobacco seller. So they their biggest business is selling tobacco. But I would answer to your question. I would hope that there's been enough history there where they continue on, and it would be a shame if it didn't go that way.
I want to shoot this down, of course, to PC because I can see PC's nodding and some maybe bit of disagreement with Popo. I mean, not PC. I mean Popo. So let's get your take on it, Pope.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yep, can you hear my brother? Can you?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Nah.
No, you're breaking up now, Pope.
Now we can't hear you.
Right, can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Mike. Let me switch out. You guys go to the next one. I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll go up to, of course, Jimmy and see what Jimmy thinks of what we've just said about, of course, Placentia and see what Jimmy thinks.
Well, I've only smoked one Placencia in the past 2.5 years, and that was the one that was the octagonal box wrap.
The Sixto.
Yeah, it was a nice cigar, But like I said, I mean, because of price point, it was given to me. We went out to a cigar bar out here, and one of the owners was a U.S. Marine, and I was a hospital corpsman, and so he wanted to show his appreciation, and he gave me the stick while we were there. I smoked it, and it was a good cigar. It tasted great. But other than that, I really don't have a whole lot to say about the Placencias. I kind of steer away from them because of their price point, But that's just me. But it was a good smoke.
Yeah. So I'll go, of course, to PC. I don't know if PC smoked any Placencia. And what's your take on Placencia at the end of the day, PC? You can unmute yourself, PC. I can't unmute you.
All right, guys. Yeah, I don't have any experience with the Placencia. I really would like to buy them. I just haven't gotten around to it. I know one thing, my palate has been all over the place, so I'm trying to narrow it down. So the Placencia is one of the cigars that I have on my smoke.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll go over to, of course, Grump, and I'll ask Grumpy the same about Placencia. I don't know if Grumpy smoked any Placencia or not.
Actually, the only experience that I've had with Placencia is the Sixtos. There was one in each of my first two sampler boxes I've got. There was a Sixto in each of those. So I have got to enjoy two of the Placencia Sixtos. And they are a very enjoyable cigar. Not something that I would be able to afford to make a daily smoker. But hey, smoke them when you got them,
Yeah, that's the thing, smoking when you got them. So I don't think Tom, of course, has smoked But let's go to Keebster and see what Keebster thinks about Placencia.
Yeah, I smoked the Placencia 149s. I enjoyed them actually for a bargain basement Placencia. It was fantastic. I'm working
Cool.
on smoking the big ones, but I think Popo may have his mic sorted out. So quick, go to him while he's got it.
Let's go back up to, of course, Popo and see what Popo's going to say about Placencia.
Well, I mean, obviously, everyone talks about the price point on them. They are up there in price, but they are absolutely a great stick to smoke. I don't know if anyone smoked the Ama de Fuego. I had to go and get it because we started talking about it. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it, but no, I've not smoked it, my brother. I've heard good things about
this. Yeah, this is the TAA exclusive. It is a phenomenal stick. I mean, like I said, it is up there in price, but the flavor, profile on this is absolutely delicious. You know, those of us that actually are avid smokers, you know, Valencia, you can never go wrong with the stick. I mean, honestly, it's really, you honestly, you pay for what you get for it, right? You know, you buy an inexpensive cigar, you kind of know what you're going to get when you pay for an inexpensive cigar. You know, it's like no one's ever had a bad Padron, right? And everyone knows that that's top shelf. You know, but when it comes around to this stick, I mean, they're up there. You know, to me, they're up in the top, at least in the top 5, right? You know, in my opinion, I mean, they're up there. I mean, even at the price point, you know, it's not obviously your everyday smoke. You're not going to be able to smoke these at, you know, $21 a stick, you know, on average, you know, give or take. You know, I mean, because they are up there in price. I've had some people argue, oh, well, if you're going to spend that much, why not have a Padron? Well, it's a different profile. This honestly has its own distinctive profile. This honestly has its own flavor. You know what I mean? That sticks out, and that's what I look for when I buy a cigar, especially when I'm trying something new. You know, and these guys seem to they're on point. They seem to know the direction they want to go to, and they seem to be going, you know, in the right direction. And I mean, I'm a big fan. You know, so that's what I think about the stick. I'll be honest with you guys.
Yep. Just want to say, of course, hi to Jennifer, which is Jimmy's wife, for coming over and watching us. So hope you're okay and got to your trip safe. Like I say, there's the message from her in the chat, and we hope she's got there safe with you. But yeah, like I say, Placencia, a good cigars, it's just the price point. And you know something, I look at Placencia and I think they're just going to keep growing and growing and growing, and there's going to be lots of cigars that are going to come from them. And you look at a lot of the major big companies like Davidoff, Placencia, Padron. Padron are at the top, Placencia are at the top. Davidoff is starting really drop down the board with people not enjoying them that much. And I think it's going to change the way it's going. And you're going to see Davidoff slowly dropping down the market the way it's getting. What do you reckon on that, Poe? Do you reckon Davidoff are going to start dropping down the market?
I'll be very honest with you guys. I'm not a big fan of Davidoff. I'm not. I think for their price point, there are other cigars that I prefer to purchase. You know, to me, you know, every time I see someone smoking a Davidoff, to me, it's always like a status cigar, correct? You know what I mean? You know, you always have, you know, especially depending on where you're at, you know, every smoke lounge is different, obviously, you know, but you know, to me, the Davidoff, to me, I'd rather spend the money on one of these, on, you know, a Padron. I mean, especially with the price point that you're paying for a Davidoff, because their sticks are up there in price. You know what I mean? And to me, I find those their cigars are like very airy. You know, no matter how you cut that cigar. I mean, like I said, and people are probably be like, "What are you talking about, Popo?" But you know, because I know people that love them. To me, in my opinion, there are better cigars out there for that price point that I'd rather spend the money on than just to have a Davidoff, just to say I smoked a Davidoff. I'm not a big fan.
We've just lost Kate, so Kate just texted me and said he's back. So let's put Kate back.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to my guys at my cigar shop, because I know they're out there watching me. Guys from Burn One, Paulo, Sal. I love you guys. Ernie, guys. The shop is in Margate, Florida. If you ever buy, pass through, you see the popo there. I'm like the furniture there. Trust me. They had to give a quick shout
Cool.
out, guys. Sorry about that, guys.
Like I say, if anyone's got any shout outs, by all means, put your shout outs out. Like I say, I want to put a big shout out now today. So, of course, we know we all represent the Cigar Loons t-shirt and everything, and that's who we are. And by all means, you can get them on Amazon. I will be posting, of course, the links up to get them. But we've had some new interesting ones that are going to be coming out with designs that Keeps has made. And, of course, you'll be able to get them on Amazon from Kurt's store. So, Kurt, tell people how they can grab a t-shirt and grab a hoodie and different products with the Cigar Loons out.
Well, I'm going to be putting up the links, but if you're not in our Discord group, the easiest way, if you go into Amazon and in the Amazon search bar, just type in Cigar Kurt, all together, CIGARKURT, and it will pull up all the Cigar Loons merchandise, t-shirts. I just Keeb sent me 4 new designs today. I just uploaded. Those are processing. So hopefully by tomorrow they will be live. T-shirts, premium t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, women's V-necks, sweatshirts, pullovers, hoodies, zip hoodies, phone cases, pop sockets. It's all the designs are going to be on all of them. So if you just search Cigar Kurt in the Amazon search bar, all of them will come up.
So it's basically the same name as your hashtag then. These people will be able to find them on Amazon.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
And
cool.
you can search search Cigar Loons, and some of them will come up. But if you search Cigar Kurt, I put that as the manufacturer, so that will come all. It'll just pull them all right up. They'll be right in there.
I've got to go, of course, to Keepster and say, Keepster, how did you come up with the designs, my brother? How did you come up with the crazy designs that you've come up with, and what was the background around making them designs?
I'm surrounded by lunatics. How did I come up with the designs?
You're a cheeky motherfucker. You know that.
Yeah,
you
I
are
tried.
a cheeky motherfucker.
Listen, I try to keep it real and on level. I mean, the truth be told, it just, listen, I've been designing for 30 years. So inspiration comes from everywhere. And yeah. And in the next month or so, yeah, there'll be even more designs because I'm finally going to get a new computer. And then,
of course, we know we also know as well, because you've been showing it in the video quite a bit. So come on,
what about the show?
Show us the tumblers. Come on, show us the tumbler and tell people about the tumbler. And of course, you're representing yours. Popo is, Grumpy is.
This design started as an accident and worked its way up. And Grumpy's got his, and Popo's got his, and I'm working on one for Jimmy, and I'm working on another one for PC, and then another one for PC, and then Kurt's gonna obviously need one, and I got Gaz's that I've got to finish putting together and send that one out, and Case.
I see how I'm down the bottom. I'm down the bottom of the list then. So Gazzy's at the bottom of the list. I can tell straight away. Gazzy's down.
Well, listen, I like to make sure that it's because everything takes so long to get to you.
Well, it is fucking England. I've told you that.
I've got a lot of things going on all at once, and thanks to a Bronco eating my Hyundai, everything kind of got a little stagnant.
Yeah. Well, like I say,
in fact, my eyes messing up.
Yeah, like I say, you said, of course, you're going to get the link out there, and you'll see the link, of course, pop up in the Discord group. You'll also see it, of course, on the Cigar Loons live podcast and everything.
I mean, if
keep your eyes open, you'll see it.
If you're really dying to get a cup, and you're like, I need to get a cup, I want to order a cup, Keeb at keeb.com. Very simple. KEEB at KEEB.com. Shoot me an email and we'll figure it out. Because nobody just wants a simple cup. Everybody wants something fancy and something cool. And it's easier to just go, look, send me what you want and we'll figure it out from there.
Stop complaining.
So cool.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I'm
So of course we're
I'm
coming up.
enjoying the ride. It's been just a really trying month. Really trying month. This month has been like monster stomping the crap out of me. So, but I will say, you know what? You did ask that we all come up with a topic, but I had a simple question that I wanted to ask everybody. What is the biggest ring gauge and length cigar that you guys have smoked? And how long did it take you to smoke it?
7-inch be 70 ring gauge, an hour and 10 minutes.
What stick was it?
I can't remember. I think actually the Texas Lancera. It was Texas Lancera. It took me an hour and 30 minutes, and I added, of course, as you'll know, my best mate passed away, Nick.
Right.
And I was smoking that cigar when he died on the phone talking to me. And I was still smoking on that cigar when I got down to his flat and checked on him. And yeah, an hour and a half that cigar lasted me. And it's one that I always go to. I go to it every time it's around his birthday. I smoke that cigar for the memories of what me and Nick have got with our friendship, and I smoke it. We did have, of course, the crazy Cuban coming back, but he's just dropped out, so hopefully he'll come back. But yeah, to everyone else, like Tom said,
Jimmy?
biggest ring gauge cigar, Nathan.
80 by 8.
80 by 8. Good.
And it's taken it, and I'm about halfway through it, and it's been an hour and 17 minutes according to the timer. So yeah, probably 2.5 to 3 hours.
How's that jaw? Listen, that 6 by 60. That's anything 60 is my limit. Anything above 60 is just I just can't. I know I can't be like you, Keith. You're a beast, buddy.
Nobody feel like me, bro.
Listen, they broke the mold after you, but let me listen. You like them 70, 80 gauges. I can't. 60 is where I draw the limit, and it all depends. Like an hour smoke, if that. You know what I mean? But yeah, 60 is my limit. It's very rare that I'll ever try a 70 or 80 gauge. It's just not for me.
I've done an 8 by 80. The longest stick I've smoked was a 10-inch stick. That took 3 hours.
That was a 3 hour was?
3 hour and 15 minutes, I think it was.
No, 3 hours and 40. 3 hours and 40 minutes that night.
Oh, 3 hours and 40 minutes. My bad.
We were on a live on TikTok.
Oh yeah, that was, yeah. What about you, Grumpy?
That 770 Grand Habano Sumatra that I had the other day. That's about the biggest.
Wasn't it?
Do what?
That was a two-parter, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was one of them two-parters because and you get over. I'm like Popo, man. 660 is about the max,
PC.
That's after that. It's just like, especially a 3 hour smoke on an Eddie gauge. Come on.
Really?
Like smoking on a donkey's dick.
Again, it's one of those things. You asked for a topic. This was the only thing I could think of because I smoke big cigars. I really do. And it was all. And I'll tell you, one of the main reasons why I like the big cigars, it wasn't even me. It was a guy that I used to ride with. He used to smoke the biggest cigars I've ever seen, and he'd chew on them things while he was riding. And I'm like, dude, that's a huge cigar. And he's like, yeah, man, I fucking love this. Big black guy. I love the shit out of him. He was funny as hell. And Kurt, anything for you? Big stick?
I'm same with me. 660 is the biggest I've smoked. I just don't. I don't know. I guess I'm of the mindset that I like to taste the wrapper, and I just don't feel that I can. I don't know. I've never tried anything bigger than a 660. I don't like the way it feels in my mouth. I mean, my.
I didn't want to say. I didn't want to say
honest,
that.
you know what I mean?
Pump the brakes.
I was wondering how long it was going to take for somebody to be honest and come out with that, man. Anything over a 60
Listen,
ring gauge just ain't comfortable.
Listen, I mentioned the jaw. You know, I just left it at that because
Exactly.
I mean,
let's just put it out there. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't.
what about you, John? What about you, John, down there in the corner, Mr. Cigar Man?
Yeah.
Unmute that man. Give him some screen time.
Unmute
John,
yourself.
You're
muted
muted.
yourself, my brother.
Turn on your microphone. There you
There
go.
you go.
What's the
What it
big?
is,
What's your biggest cigar?
Same thing as everybody. 6x60.
Really? Man,
It'll
I
grow
feel like
new by
the
LFD.
outcast. That's all right. I don't mind. I don't mind. And I love the lunatics. You will.
Lunatic now, and I've been holding on to it for a while, and I used what
No,
about it.
entra para adentro.
I was thinking about those old movies I used to see. They, back in the day, they would have those long ass cigars, and I wanted to try it.
Well, and I know
Listen.
Case hasn't really got he hasn't had a whole lot of experience. So, unfortunately, I'd be like, what's the biggest one you've smoked?
Well,
Well, they just came out with a 100 ring gauge PC. If you want to try something big,
I know. I'm looking forward to trying that one. Anyway.
yeah, I know. I'm sure you guys are.
I want to smoke the April Fools. That 990. I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
You know, there's
Hard
no
cigar.
flavor on a cigar like that, right?
You know what? You'd be surprised.
I'm telling you, there's no flavor on that cigar at
There's
all.
flavor in every cigar you smoke. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
You only
You're gonna tell me that all that flavor is sitting in the wrapper, in the filler, in the binder?
Absolutely. That's why they're blended. That's why they're blended.
They blend it for people that like big ring gauges, big guys like football players, basketball players, so they won't look themselves short when they smoke a small cigar.
Well,
That's
then
what
I
they made
look
it for,
like
the big
a
ring
dwarf
gauge.
trying to smoke a dog leg.
You know what I mean? But
I'm okay with that.
you guys know where the flavors is in the wrapper. You know, you not got
But
that much flavor in that wrapper. You got more tobacco than filler.
You know the
we
crazy.
all
crazy
do
part,
keep
guys.
it.
But you got to
Yeah.
realize that we have a Napoleon complex, so that's one of the reasons.
We are
No,
stuck.
it's okay. I know guys with no teeth like to try everything. I got you.
I mean, I have my limitations, but
I'm only teasing you guys.
Listen,
Especially
you know that the true flavor is in the cigar are in the Lanceros. You want
Exactly.
okay? The true flavors are in the Lanceros. You want to talk about you'll taste every flavor from beginning to end. Try Lancero because they pack so much flavor in that little ring gauge. Okay, it's not this 50, the 60, the 70, the 80. Is that skinny Lancero that pack
a
a
little
punch?
40 or 30, 32 or
No,
40.
not even. Yeah, even the 32. The Lanceros. When I tell you the flavor on the Lancero, it's phenomenal. It is. Listen, I'll take a Lancero over a 70, 80 gauge anytime of any stick.
I'm with you 110%, guaranteed.
I'm just greedy.
Yeah,
I want all the bang for my buck.
The only problem with the Lancero, it's going to be a quick smoke, but you're going to enjoy a cigar where you're going to get all kinds of notes, all kinds of flavor, all kinds of taste that you probably haven't actually experienced in other cigars. You know, like the Toro and the Robusto. Forget about that. It's on the Lancero. I mean, you know, they call it Lancero. They call it also, what's the other name for another version like the Lancero?
Corona?
No, not Corona.
Corona.
No, it's not Corona.
It's got a weird Cuban name.
It's well, the Cubans started making that too. It's
Salute.
not. You're talking about not a petite Corona. It's and not a Corona. Corona, they have it in Cuban size, which is similar to a Lancero, but there's another one that they call that they do a lot here in South and Central America. I forgot the name of it. If it comes to me, I'll remind you. But you know why I smoke a lot of torpedoes, believe it or not, and I like torpedoes. I just did one today. I showed you guys the Jaime Garcia, because you can actually cut your cigar at whatever gauge you want.
Valid
That's
point.
the good
Well,
thing
for
about
everyone-
torpedoes.
With you
At the
just
end of the
popping
day,
in,
it's
John,
still gonna be. Yeah, go ahead.
with you just popping in, John, tell everybody where, of course, they can find you on your social medias, because we've all told people where they can find us. But tell people where they can find you on your social medias like TikTok and Instagram.
You can find me in TikTok under Cigar Man. In Instagram, Havana Social Cigars. I don't have Facebook. My Facebook is personal, and so is YouTube. But those are the only two platforms that I use.
Cool. Like I say, everyone likes different
Oh,
cigars.
she's so right.
Of course,
Oh, she's
we
so
need
right.
Case. Go on, say what you were going to say, Case, before, because I knew you were going to say something.
Well, I
let's see
remember
what you got to say, bro.
last time I was gonna say something was about the PCA cigars when that's gonna drop one.
Somebody just posted a comment. Last name Mom. I definitely agree with you. Yeah, I like women to say that, especially the ring gauge size.
Yeah,
That was
the,
Jennifer, Jimmy's wife.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
No disrespect. I was not aware of it. Sorry.
that's
My
son.
apologies.
My
Is
son
that
said,
your son?
yeah.
What's up, son?
Hey, boy, what you doing awake on the computer this time of night?
I told him we had some t-shirts dropping, and he got excited.
But yeah, like I figured we'd have a question and answer period, because we're getting close to the top. I don't know how long we're planning to run this, but I'm having fun. I'm enjoying it.
I can run it as long as you want, my brothers. Like I say, the last one we ran up to an hour and 50. So it's entirely up to you. If you're all still free and you want to keep going, we can keep going. By all means.
keep it going.
I got nothing to do but enjoy this, and I'm still. This is where we're at still. Where the hell am I?
Let's look at that. Ash on PCs. Jeez.
Jimmy,
this is
my
the thing,
apologies. I was
right?
not aware of that. Okay.
Oh, hey,
We
man.
already
keep
show you
going
guys
up.
a cigar.
Me,
No,
trust.
I just no disrespect.
Hey.
My apologies.
No.
I just thought it was somebody out there that was looking inside our YouTube channel.
No offense. Keith will tell you.
No,
Yeah, no.
my apologies.
Jimmy's wife is
Let's tell you
really, really fun.
It's just that I'm not that type of person. I don't disrespect anybody. I just
sorry?
thought somebody was saying about that. That's all. My
Oh yeah, that
apologies.
one's dead. You can barely hear.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Case.
be honest with
I know
you,
what
Case.
I know what
That's
about
so
Case.
muffled.
It's an interesting stick,
Yeah, I'm about to get off
but
this.
I haven't tried it yet.
Why?
Because
It's to stay on. It's your first thing.
Popo, have you tried one of them braided sticks? Like what?
I don't think I have.
They're not called braided. They're called
The Octo Ocho.
Calibra.
Calibra. Yeah, Calibra.
Calibra.
Yeah.
Snake. The twisted snake.
Yeah, I've
The
never
Cubans
had
were the
that
first one to create that with the particles.
This is a new one coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Particles D is the first one that came out with that.
I can't
So
wait.
come on, Keith. I want to know how Jennifer made you blush. Come on, I want to know the story of how she made you blush.
I'm sure it's happened multiple times. It's when you catch me off guard, you get me monologuing, and all of a sudden it's like somebody just throws out a roadblock and goes, "Hey, blam!" And you're like, "How do I come back from that?"
I got a quiz for Popo. Give me a second. Popo.
Yo,
In Spanish, what's another name for cake that we use, and that's the size of a cigar like Lancero.
Wait, on bigocho?
No, in the Cuban version, not that version.
He's Puerto Rican. How would he
It
know?
starts.
Yeah,
with
really?
yeah, I know. It starts with a P. He knows it. He hangs out with a lot of Cubans too. It starts with a P.
Yes, I do.
Imagine bizcocho, but they call it something else with the P. P-A.
Like pan?
Like la patela is not la patela, the
You're close.
Pacheco?
oh my lord.
I'll tell you.
No.
But I'll tell you. It's called panetela.
Panetela, yes. Panetela.
Okay, panetela. It's another name for a Lancero. There's another size, but similar to the Lancero. And I just remember because I was going to look for the version of a cake, and I put panetela, and the first thing that came up was panetela cigars. So yeah.
Yeah,
That's another version.
5-inch be 33 ring gauge normally for a panetella. So 5 inches
Yep.
be 33 ring gauge.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, there's so many sticks out there that, we've all spoke about it before that none of us have tried. That's the San Andreas wrapper.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. That is a flavor. If you've never had one, you need to find yourself a stick that has San Andreas on it because it will blow your palate away. Talking about different cigars
Christoph
and flavors
cigars.
and stuff like that.
Christoph Pissed Off. That's got San Andreas. Smoke the Christoph Pissed Off. I absolutely love that cigar. I do absolutely love it.
We're gonna try that one next.
Multiple times.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to read this.
Go to Padron.
Oh, she's so great.
Padron has all your
She's
San
so
Andreas
great.
wrapper.
Yeah, what's the cigar made out of from Mexico?
Huh?
There's a Mexican cigar out there with that.
Torrent. That's 19. Torrent is actually a cigar that's made in Mexico in the actual city. It's called San Andreas, but that's where the Torrent cigar comes out of.
Always.
That factory there also
1913?
makes 1905 from that new guy that just started coming out. Yeah. No, 1910. Sorry, 1910.
I knew it was. Yeah, let me tell you.
It's all
I told
it's
you
all
guys, the first
Mexican.
time I tried it, it's ridiculous. That cigar is
1910.
ridiculous. I mean, it blew my palate away. It really did. I never had anything like it. Even to this day, I have yet to have anything like that cigar. It's a very unique cigar. Yeah. Yep. And like I said, it blew my mind because I did not know what I was tasting. I told you guys I had to look it up and say, what the heck am I tasting?
He was being interviewed on Tuesday by Neptune.
Oh, nice.
He's I think he's Mexican if I'm not mistaken, and that's where his cigars are from and being made. And I have one on my review on TikTok that I did one. It's very spicy. You got a lot of pepper on that cigar.
Has anyone smoked, of course, the street taco? I thought that was quite spicy for a cigar. The street taco.
One?
Yeah.
Street taco.
Never.
No, I haven't.
Never heard of it.
Definitely check it out. It's got like a skull on with the Mexican hat, and I tell you now, I'll find the cigar and I'll post it, of course, in the Discord. But it's an interesting cigar, and I've smoked a couple of them, and yeah, they give me something different in a cigar. But like I say, to everyone who's watching us, thank you for watching us, and thank you for the comments. It's absolutely brilliant, like I say, and thank you for coming and watching us and spending some time listening to the Cigar Loons. Like I say, our first live podcast. And how's everybody feeling about the very first live podcast? Of course, we did the recorded podcast last week, but how's everybody feeling about it being live?
I was a bit more nervous. I ain't gonna lie, but I really enjoyed it. It was a good time learning some new stuff about some new cigars that's coming out, and just some personal preferences now. Get to try some new stuff.
Well, I mean, the beauty of hanging out with us is thank you.
Yes, appreciate that.
The beauty about hanging around with different people is you always get ideas for different cigars. Like the cigar that PC's smoking, the Bull Moose, I almost bought tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Well,
But I turned around and looked down and went, "Oh, look, there's a brand new box of LFD. Let me snatch one of them. Yay!" And then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting my discount. Let me go and grab an M81 while I'm at it."
well, I gotta add, this is the ash from start to finish. I mean, up until now, ash still broken, and I ran in the house with the ash pretty much this long, so I'm halfway through.
That might be the Long Ash Award right there.
Yeah,
whoa.
Dave, long ashes too.
Tell you what,
Yeah, we
tell you
still
what,
haven't-
Case,
we still haven't
you
done that.
kind of beat
that.
that comment, Case, when your wife thinks you did great. So, like I say, from Casey's son, of course. So thank you to Casey's son as well for watching and everything. Like I say, it's been an interesting live, and don't get me wrong, I've been kind of shitting it all day about going live, but I'm enjoying it. Like I say, we keep going, and this is the thing. We're growing and growing. People are watching us, and we've got some unique guests coming on. Like I say, I've just had a message from my friends at Evil Empire, so they're going to be checking their schedule. They're going to be probably the guests next week. Then, of course, we've got Darren coming on. I've still got to reach out to Cigar Man Daz, who's a big Cuban smoker here in the UK. He's going to be joining us. And then we've got some other unique guests. Then we're going to have our very first podcast with the Sisters of the Leaf. So, Jen, if you want to come on, by all means, come on, please. It'd be nice to have you sit down and smoke a cigar and see your take on cigars. I'm going to try and get some more of the Sisters of the Leaf in as well. But how's everybody else feeling about the live? Of course, Tom, how are you feeling about it?
I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off all day, so it's I literally pulled into the yard 10 minutes before this started. So I think it worked out all right. I think it's going all right. It started off a little kludgy, but we work our way in. Everybody looks like they're having fun. Popo looks like he's a news anchor.
You keep on digging, huh? You keep on digging, there, like... Dickie. Yeah. Listen, it's a work in progress.
This just
it's a work in progress. Yeah, that's right.
It
just
is.
Listen.
Like you need to.
It's a work in progress.
You need to get a taller chair so you can get your flag in. Your flag's too high.
Hey.
Hey.
I got all PC. I don't want to hear nothing from you. PC, I got nothing to say. Hey, don't hit me with nothing, PC. Don't you hit me with nothing.
I'm out of it, brother. I'm out of it.
Yeah, listen, after the comment that you made earlier, after, Dude Boy over there started, he cranked you up and you just, what the hell?
Hey,
he hit me with the donut joke today.
No. I realized I got suckered into a conversation that I didn't need to be privy to. So, my bad.
Yeah. He said my pandas should have a donut in his hand.
You don't have to.
Nah, it's all good. We all family here.
It's all good, clean fun until Popo cries. I mean, what?
Keith, you gonna pay for it, man.
I know I'm gonna pay dearly, but it's all good.
Listen. I truly enjoyed myself. I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? But I think, like I said, there's some kinks that we need to work out. But it's a work in progress, and we'll learn from it and we'll grow from this, and we'll keep moving forward. Hopefully, whoever's watching enjoyed what we had to say. And like I said, we'll keep learning and moving forward.
Yeah. Case, am I to assume that thing's dead?
Yeah.
No.
Almost. He's holding on to it. He's gonna fire it up and get one last hit out of it.
That's the thing.
Damn right.
We've got a couple of kinks, but them kinks they'll be sorted out. Like I say, people are going to see more
Everything sorts
different
itself
things
out.
coming. Yeah, people are going to see different things coming through the channel. Like I say, with the guests that we're going to be having. Of course, I'm going to be posting the t-shirts, so people will be able to get the t-shirts through the links. Of course, the tumblers through the links, and keep watching us. Like I say, we also, of course, are going to be putting this podcast on Spotify. So if anybody listens on Spotify, they'll be able to catch it on Spotify, as well as, of course, on YouTube. And yeah, we're just going to keep growing. And by all means, if you're enjoying this podcast and you want to come and join us on the Discord, shoot us a message. Like I say, you've got, of course, my hashtag, a Rocky Cigar Reviewer. You've got Keebsters. Of course, you've got Cigar Kate, Popo Panda, Jimmy Sue, PC. You've got Vandal. By all means, shoot us a message and come and join us on the Discord. How you see us now, how we're live and having a laugh and a joke and this, we're the same in the Discord.
Much
and
more.
you know something? I couldn't ask for better people to sit and smoke a cigar with than my brothers here. And I tell you one thing, I've been through some shit over the last week. And Popo's been there for me, Keebster has, Kate has. I know the rest of the brothers have all been there for me and reached out. But I couldn't ask for a better bunch of people to hang around with, smoke a cigar, and chat with every day. And you know something? Your family at the end of the day, and this is a family thing. This was set up for all of us to sit, smoke a cigar, have a chat, and enjoy the live. And like I say, I'm really enjoying it, and thank you for joining me tonight.
I'm having fun. As
Yeah,
usual, like it's a little different because it's live on a different platform.
I
So
any promos or whatnot like that. Seeing Kurt's promo for this live tonight, that was the most professional since listening to a professional do radio commercials. His pitch and everything was on point. Kurt, I don't know what you did or what you smoked, but brother, promo for this live was on point today.
I used one of the TikTok voice filters. It was the Santa voice filter.
I'm telling you. I want
Santa. Santa.
It
So I got
was.
a question for you guys. Okay. And I think we should do this next week if you want to. It's up to you guys. When you're smoking a cigar, why don't you try to pair it with something that you're drinking? Something you're smoking with, I'm sorry. Pair it with something that you're smoking. Get a drink. Like if today, whatever we're smoking, what would you guys pair your cigar with? What type of alcohol?
Oh, alcohol.
Buffalo Trace.
That's the
You know
point.
what I'm drinking?
Oh yeah, beer.
Buffalo Trace.
So
Beer.
whatever you're smoking, why don't you tell me what you guys will pair it with? One at a time.
Well,
Raise your hand if you need help.
This LFD goes really well with iced tea. And like you can take that any way, but the iced tea just pairs wonderfully with this.
Okay, Jimmy.
You know.
Well, one of my favorite pairings is the Tabac Dolce with Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
The caramel notes and the Tabac and the caramel notes with the Dr. Pepper blend beautifully together.
What would you do, Poe?
My favorite pairings.
Popo, what do you got digging?
I got some Elijah Craig rye.
Nice.
Guys, you cannot go wrong with Elijah
That whole
Craig.
tumbler.
Aganosa.
That whole tumbler
Just
is
saying.
Is that
Popo
all
spitting nice
Elijah
is all I
Craig?
gotta say. Popo
What
is
you
spitting
got,
nice.
Grumpy?
oh
Grumpy, you're up.
Johnny Walker.
Scotch cigar that I'm smoking
You're
tonight.
doing
Monster, Loca Boca.
Okay. What's going on, Pete? What are you having, PC?
High rise Scotch.
Okay. So that's what you would pair that with? Okay.
It'll pair.
Let's go with Cigar Kurt and then Case.
The I don't know what I would drink with what I smoked tonight, but typically I either, like when I review a cigar, I usually have ice water just to keep my palate clean and neutral. But I usually, when you see me smoking a cigar, I'm usually drinking Diet Mountain Dew. But one cigar that I really enjoy with an old fashioned, I've got some, currently right now, I've got some Eagle Rare bourbon, and it's the Perdomo, the bourbon barrel age. I've got the sun grown.
Okay.
And that, when you drink bourbon with that, because it's in the bourbon barrel age, it really brings out the flavor in that cigar. It's absolutely amazing. That's the really only one that I can, off the top of my head, that I've paired with alcohol that's really made a difference for me, is that bourbon barrel age, the Perdomo.
Nice. Case, what's up with you?
I'm drinking this Oktoberfest Samuel Adams. I would do it with that cigar again for sure.
And
Dalmore
guys,
cigar.
talk to me, kiddo.
You know me.
What would you pair
You
yours?
know what I'm. Told you. I keep showing you.
He's got the
Trace.
Yeah,
Buffalo.
pink lemonade.
So
Got the
I'll tell
pink
you.
lemonade.
Buffalo Trace.
So I tell you, I went yesterday. I showed you guys that I tried Buffalo Trace for the first time at my buddy's place down in Fort Lauderdale, and I got to tell you, I need to get a bottle of that Buffalo Trace because that
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo Trace was phenomenal. I took some home on my scooter, smoking my Tabernacle, and it paired perfectly. Perfectly.
Yeah.
That Buffalo Trace did not even burn me. It was just a smooth ride. You know what I mean? Now, when I do Elijah Craig, which is a good bourbon too, sometimes I get the kicker in the throat. But that Buffalo Trace,
Not with the
it's
try the
really
ride.
smooth.
Hey,
I gotta try that.
John,
ride.
next time try the ride. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The first time I popped it open the other day and the bottle's almost gone.
Really, I gotta try the ride.
It's very smooth. It is very, very. It's not like your regular Elijah Craig. It really is. It's so much. It has that caramel taste. You know, it really adds the cigar flavor. It's ridiculous.
I got a
You
friend
gotta
of
try
mine,
the
you
ride.
guys.
I never really
I got a friend of
paired
mine's a Psalm.
spirit in the cigar.
I got a friend of mine's a Psalm 3. He's trying to get me that Eagle Rare, and he's also trying to get me that Branton. I think it's called, right? Branton or Branton? What is it called?
Blanton's.
Blanton's.
Blanton.
He's trying to get me. Yeah, he's trying to give me a bottle of each because he's in the
Well, you let
business,
me
so
know.
he's trying to work on that.
Okay. Well, if he can't
No,
for
but
whatever
you can-
reason, I know a guy.
Okay. If he doesn't come through
Yeah,
for whatever reason, I'll hit you up for sure.
Yeah, listen, I got at least four or five bottles of Blantons from this guy that's just sitting there.
Okay.
And I got like 2 bottles of Eagle Rare, the 10-year anniversary in there too.
I'll tell
Okay.
you.
So
Yeah,
we'll get
yeah.
together anyway. I'll get to it.
That's a party at
I'll tell you
Poco's
another
right
pairing
there.
what I like. I like
that?
the blackened whiskey, the blackened bourbon. I do like the blackened. I think that goes with a lot of different cigars. I've had the blackened with a couple of Caldwell cigars. It paired brilliantly. It paired brilliantly with, of course, the Sixto by Basentia. And blackened really goes good. I need to get another bottle of blackened and have it, of course, with the blackened M81 and see how that goes together.
The Buffalo Trace went fantastic with the Perdomo 12-year vintage. Went fantastic. That was probably one of the best pairings. Of course, I did drink the entire bottle, but we don't talk about that part.
I remember that night.
The more I drank, the harder it was to walk. But you know,
I remember
Luckily,
that
you
night.
ain't walking too far.
no, my wife had to come help me. She had to turn the live off and walk me into the house. It was nice. We were talking about that tonight.
One more thing.
Well, guys,
PCA, I'm sorry. Just want to say one more thing, guys. PCA, all these new releases that came out in PCA, they're starting to send them all out. Some people are doing it earlier than others. Foundation is starting to send theirs out today. So look out for these new cigars. I suggest you guys try them out. They're different cigars, new cigars,
I'll think of
different
it.
blends. So I'm just giving you a heads up. They are shooting them to all retailers for the past month already. So you
I
guys
may
gonna have some
to
new
make a
cigars
run
out there.
for it. I may have to make a run to Florida.
Cool.
They're all over the place.
Yeah, not in Georgia.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
Think
go
I'm-
first just so I can get decent sticks at a cool place.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
I
get
think
some
I'm getting
sticks
after.
and
This is different.
you can always come and pick up a couple now that you're closer.
Yeah. Now that I'm
Hey,
closer to you.
we could
2.5
continue this on the
hours.
other cord. Hey, hold those comments.
Yeah.
We'll
I think
meet up after this. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah. I think I'm getting after, of course, put in a nice little cigar order with a couple of things that I need. But like I say, I'll mention that in the Discord. But
Yeah,
we are coming up to an hour and 50. Yeah, we are on an hour and 50 minutes. So let's wrap this up. And like I say, we'll go over, of course, to
Yeah,
the
we can
Discord.
continue in the other place.
Everybody's lasting comments on the podcast tonight, and everybody, what do you feel and how's it been?
Good night, and thanks for coming. It's been great. It's a pretty good podcast. I like it.
I'm definitely happy.
Can't wait for the next one.
I can't wait to do it again.
Yes, absolutely.
Even if we record it
Absolute-
or whatever, this was fantastic. I had a good time.
I had an absolute wonderful time, as I do always smoking with you guys. And anybody out there that's watching or listening to this future show, we'd love to have you. And I guess until next time, just smoke them if you got them.
Smoke them if you got them.
You bet.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to try something new
there you go.
Absolutely.
until you yak, and then you've gone too far.
Oh boy.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for, being here. And I know this is new for all of us, but, we've got things planned. We're going to settle in, get used to it. And it's all going to get better. And
yeah, it's only going
if
to
any
get
of my
better.
followers followed us in here, I appreciate y'all coming. So,
Same
Yeah,
here.
definitely should have done a promo myself.
And I would like to give a shout out. I did want to represent him a little bit, and everything is like everybody else. Hey, come on. We look with you.
That whole thing up.
You cutting out.
We lost you. We couldn't hear you.
Okay.
No, I was just saying I would like to give Drizzy Drake a shout out since he had to work tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To
Every-
Drake.
Right up to Drake.
And to
Yeah.
all that's watching and the people that's coming, to the next few, come one, come on. We look to have fun with you guys, and this podcast is for people that think that they don't belong on other podcasts talking about cigarettes.
We're definitely equal opportunity.
And most
Everyone's
definitely.
welcome. As you
I mean,
might
That's the
notice,
thing. There's
none
no.
of us are wearing suits except for Popo.
But that's the thing with us. Like I say, there's no judging on what cigar you smoke. If it's an infused cigar, a normal cigar, Cuban cigar, it doesn't matter what you're smoking. As long as you're enjoying it, you're enjoying the chat and enjoying the way we are. And like I say, we are the Cigar Loons. Thank you, everybody, for coming and watching tonight and joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure sitting down with my fellow brothers of the Cigar Loons. Like I say,
Oh yeah.
keep your eyes definitely open, because we are going to be having some unique guests. Like I say, hopefully next week we'll have Evil Empire Cigars with us. Then on the 3rd, we have got Darren Brooks, which is a big advocate for men's mental health. Also has produced a couple of books on men's mental health. He's a cigar smoker and does cigars and campfires, which is here in the UK. So basically, make sure to check that one out on the 3rd of November. Like I say, we're going to have one Friday of every month where it's just going to be the Sisters of the Leaf. So it's either going to be me sitting down with the Sisters of the Leaf and talking to them, or it's going to be, of course, Emily sitting down with the Sisters of the Leaf and smoking a cigar with them. But make sure to check that out, because it's not just about us lot, we're being the brothers of the leaf. It's also about the sisters of the leaf. And the sisters of the leaf having a forum where they can sit, they can enjoy the forum, they can come on the podcast, speak about their experiences with cigars, what they enjoy, and that's the way we're going to go. So from me, thank you to everyone that's followed us, that subscribed to us, that liked it. Like I say, if you like it, subscribe, please give it a like. And like I say, we'll all catch you on the flip side. And I'm going to post the T-shirt now, so you'll be able to get to the link for the T-shirt. And yeah, I shall catch all you brothers on the Discord, and I shall see you all soon. So from everyone, it's a goodbye, and we'll catch you all over on Discord. If you're not on it, like I say, shoot one of us a message, and by all means, come and join us. But yeah. So like I say, I'm going to shoot, of course, now the T-shirt, and everyone will be able to see the T-shirt. They will. But like I say, it's been a great live. We've also enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone for the comments. That's commented, and like I say, it's been a good one, and we'll all catch you very soon on the next podcast. And like I say, if you like the podcast, please subscribe to it, and please like it. But there's the link for the T-shirts.